Yeah, it's your boy Frankie Lou, Gas House NC, from 17 to the South Side, Grandosiá TV. What it up?
Welcome back to Grandosiá TV. I got a special guest with me today, my boy, going back all the way to the middle school days, Frank Lou. What's going on with you?
Happy to be here, bro. I appreciate you hitting me up. Because honestly, bro, this was an honor. Like, when you asked me to be on this joint, I was like, yo, I get to sit down and, talk my shit for a minute. And who better to do it with than you?
Accepted to come on the show.
No doubt.
I've been seeing a lot of things via Facebook. I've been following your career. I guess some people may not know. Me and you go back to the free agent days of things. So even with that, so I've been following you, man. I've been a fan. I was a fan then.
Recording mixtapes in the little hot ass closet.
In Chris' house, rapping upstairs. The whole crew we had. But I've been following you, man, and I see that you really done took off with the battles. So how's that been coming for you?
Not as well as I expected. Well, not as well as I planned. Let me say that. I ain't gonna say expected. Let's say planned. Like, because I had a plan for this shit set up, and then somewhere along that line, I had to deal with my personal life, and it kind of conflicted with my preparation for battles. Certain battles, it was like he'd do great this battle, and then it's like this battle he wouldn't do so much. It's like it became a mixed puzzle of like which Frankie Lou gonna show up. I mean, even though I was still getting booked for battles and still getting paid most of the time, it's like I never knew like what mind state I was gonna be in. Like, it's been battles that I actually prepared for and still didn't go up there and give my best performance because I had other shit in the back of my mind. Like it's kind of like you ever went out with your homeboys. I'm gonna just give an example. You ever went out with your boys, like say you and your old lady fall out, or and you go out, had the best time in the world with your boys. And I'm just make that comparison, analogy-wise, to a great battle. And then in the back of your mind, you thinking, no matter what happens up here, I still gotta go home and deal with this bullshit.
Right. I definitely been there.
So it's not necessarily you thinking. It's like more like after this, reality kicks back in. And I've always been at the most point like a reality type of person. Like, no matter what happens, reality still coming back.
Right.
So sometimes it kind of throw off what I'm thinking or throw off what I might be feeling. And when you battling, especially when you battling at that level, when you step on that stage and you got crowds, cameras, and people, like, your mind has to be clear. I mean, I know, like, before battles, sometimes I have my little rituals. Like, I might smoke a little bit, drink a little bit. Like, I say, since 2008, and I know I've done a lot of battles on the street, a lot of battles in crowd. I say from like 2008 up till now. And I probably done about, if I can count that factor in, other than the number I gave earlier, I've probably done about 30 battles. I've probably only been sober for 2 of them. I'm just being honest. But you can never, like, if you watch my battles though, and you see how sometimes I come off and I just be rapping and it look clean and rapid, you can never tell. But I know a lot of rappers that do it. It's like, it's not even necessarily the pressure. It's like when you prepare for a battle, and it's like you doing what you do when you write, like when you sit down and write for a song. A lot of rappers, they gotta smoke a blunt. They gotta smoke a cigarette. They gotta have a drink or something. It just becomes a repetitive thing. And then it becomes more repetitive when the pressure is on. Like when you gotta stand there in front of this crowd of people, these cameras, and do all that. I don't know. I don't care what anybody tells you. I know so many battle rappers that would tell you, no matter how good they look on stage or how it seems to them, they be nervous than a motherfucker when you doing the introduction, like when you like, yeah, I'm Frankie Lou, Gastonia, da 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 da. You be nervous than a motherfucker until it's your turn to rap. Like say he goes first. You gotta listen to all the shit he say. You're still not comfortable yet, for the most part. You're not comfortable until you say your first 3 or 4 bars, and if you say something and they be like, and then you thinking in your mind, oh, y'all like that? Wait till y'all hear the rest of this shit.
Right.
That's when you get comfortable.
Gotcha.
Like people don't understand, like your heart be beating, everything. Like that's why battle rappers always have water. Like
Got that drop.
your nerves be going crazy. I don't give a damn what battle it is or who you like that. It happens every time. Like you have to have something, like your nerves be jumping. I don't care who it is, how arrogant or cocky they try to be. Everybody has the same story when you talk to them outside the cameras and all this extra shit.
Now, knowing where you're from, and we both from the same area, when you gas on your 704 stand up, but when you advanced and went and started doing battles with bigger opponents, how did that change your status in the city? Because like I said, I've been studying you, man. I've been watching you. You got some guys that's been your people that's been rocking with you, like Good Job Frank. Then you had some other ones like he went up there, thought he was something, clowning or whatever. So like, how you thinking about the support coming from your own city?
Most of the niggas that's trying to clown now was up there with me. But I felt like you was up there for your own intentions, like you trying to network, and I didn't care about that. Like if you trying to network with other people, like because everybody don't battle rap this. Like if you take a crew, say it's you and 2 other people, they might be rappers, or 2 or 3 people. They might be rappers, but they might not battle rap.
Right.
They might do music. When you go to a battle rap event, most of the time at battle rap events, it's gonna be some fine women there. And then it's gonna be like guys that are DJs, producers, other rappers, and other battle rappers. So it becomes a networking thing if you talking to the right people, and then you gonna have a bunch of hood niggas,
right?
Because everybody has an entourage
everywhere.
Especially if you coming into a situation, and like I said, most of the time when I've done the great majority of my battles, I've always traveled. Like I've always traveled. Like when I was talking about that earlier, I'm like 23 battles. I can only say about 3 or 4 of those battles were either in Gastonia or Charlotte. Like my battle recently, about 2 weeks ago, it was in Charlotte.
Gotcha.
But all my battles is like, if I had to battle a nigga from Virginia, I battled him in Virginia, in Richmond, or Petersburg, or wherever he was from. If I had to battle niggas from New York, I battled them in Virginia or in New York. If I had to battle a nigga from Philly, I battled him in Virginia or in Philly. Like, I'm stepping on unfamiliar ground.
Come to their turf.
I always come to their turf and battle them. It's a lot of niggas that won't do that. They be like, it's like, I've heard the stories, like, you have niggas that really would be on some scared shit, like, man, if we can't battle somewhere neutral or we can't set up something down here, I ain't gonna do it. I'm like, okay, if the niggas from New York and y'all battle in Philly and you from North Carolina or Virginia, Nigga, that sound neutral enough to me.
Yeah, that's neutral.
So when battling in these different markets, do you have anybody in your crew that can put on with you? And then two, for the people to really understand, because I think a lot of people who come at you some days, I think don't really understand. Because I know the biggest
They
thing
do.
about you was what I'm saying when I say don't understand. The biggest thing about
they not built like that.
But then too, I think artists sometimes when you came out and told somebody or the dude on Facebook accused you of saying people trash, and then he try to go with the battle situation. But battle and making music is two different things, is it not?
Oh, yes, it's two very completely different things. Because I mean, if somebody asked me to write, I mean, I'm gonna give an example. Okay, me and Biz, shout out to Broadway Biz, album dropping, Ignorant, and we just finished the album. Now, when we go to the studio, like we go through beats, stuff like that. Once we focus in on what we gonna do, like, okay, what we gonna do for the hook? Okay, the hook should sound like this. Okay, boom. Okay, once we get the hook down, no matter where we putting the hook in the song, we go ahead and record the hook. And then it's like, now everybody writing verses. It only take me 15 minutes to write a verse, especially if it's a 16. Probably take 10, 15 minutes. Writing for a battle, shit. It's like, writing for a battle, it's like, once they give you the call and say, okay, how you feel about battling such and such? They be like, okay, what did bro say? Oh, he say he'll battle you. Like, he'll lock it in if you say it's cool. Okay, cool. Lock it in. So now the process changes because it is either somebody, and then my process personally is it has to be somebody I have respect for. Because we seen how the sport of battle rap can go.
Right.
Like people can be in your face and bumping into you and walking around you and doing all that. If it's somebody that you don't have no respect for, like if you know that's just part of what they do,
Right.
then you be like, all right, that's just what he do. But
Now, but before you go on, do that getting close to you? Do that ever turn ugly? Has anybody ever got into a fight over that?
I'm gonna say, I don't know if I can say this shit on camera. I would say Jay Land's gonna kill me for this. No, it didn't turn ugly on any situation I've had. It didn't turn ugly on camera, but it did turn ugly in the parking lot.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I don't want to get too much into that because he got fined a shitload of money for it, and yeah, I was bad. I was like, a lot of people don't even know this shit. Like from 2000 and I'm gonna say roughly 14 to about 17. Nobody noticed why I didn't battle in North Carolina. And then I still don't think I battled in North Carolina after that.
Any reason why that you didn't?
I was technically kind of banned from battling in certain places because I was considered a liability. Because something happened in a battle. I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not gonna say what particular. Well, I can say. Well, I'm not gonna say no name. Well, his name because I got mad respect for him and his people. And then they came down. It was like a North Carolina versus Virginia type thing.
Gotcha.
And they came down here to battle us. And then we was battling, and then he ran up on me and tapped my pockets. Now, I was okay with it because I've seen this guy battle live twice.
Gotcha.
So it's like, that's why I would say it's different when you prepare for somebody that you've seen battle live than just seeing them on YouTube. Like the energy is different.
Gotcha.
So I already know what type of vibe he coming with. I'm okay with it because me and him don't have no kind of beef. I was okay with it. It's just the people that I was with wasn't okay with it.
Gotcha.
And then once it happened, boom, 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 and then it was like we go outside. Me and him have a conversation, and I said something to him about the pocket tap thing, and then he was like, "Bro, I was just trying to put on the show. You know how we do." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, we good." One of his homeboys walk up. Yeah, nigga, hit your pockets. He was obviously drunk. So then it started a whole little mix up with my people, because my people are already kind of tight about it.
Right.
And then his homeboy walking up talking about some, yeah, nigga, that nigga tapped your pockets. No, you ain't do shit, nigga. Da, da, da. I ain't gonna talk about what the rest happened, because it was a whole bunch of bullshit that shouldn't have never happened.
Gotcha. So, and speaking of
Never happened. It should have never happened.
So speaking in like preparing for somebody, how do you prepare?
Shout out to he, like, if he see this, he know who I'm talking about. I just talked to him the other day, and I know he set out a battle rap for a while, but shout out to him. I just chopped it up with him the other day. So shout out to you, bro.
So how do you like the walk us through the mind of a battle rapper? How do you even prepare for a rap? Because you're saying 15 minutes for a verse, but it takes you a while to do a battle. So how do you go into
right around? Like, it depends on, because it comes down to, okay, you talk to the league owners, because they call you and be like, yo, how you feel about battling such and such? Because you got to remind you, they have to set up a card, which means they have to have battles that people want to see. That's the point I was trying to make, what I said about that other shit earlier. Mm-hmm. If they see your name on there and be like, oh, man, I ain't going to see that shit. But you know how many times I've been to other places, other states, and niggas that I didn't even fucking know walked up to me and be like, yo, Frankie Lou, bro, you battling such. He was like, bro, I know you gonna spaz. Like, I know you gonna do this. I seen when you battle such and such. And I'd be like, damn, nigga, that's love.
Right.
Like, this nigga don't even know me. Like, I done seen this shit happen a couple times. It's like, and it kind of in the back of my mind, because I'm one of those type of people. Like, once certain people feel like they reached a certain level, I know I'm getting off subject. I'm getting back to it. But they feel like they don't have to interact with the fans. I'm one of them type of people. If they say the doors open at 3, but the battle start at 4. I'm one of them type of motherfuckers. If I get there early enough, I'm walking when they setting up the stage.
Gotcha.
Because I like to walk around the stage and look out. It'll be empty. It might be empty, but I like to walk around and see the stage, like, and look like how the crowd is gonna look. And then you start looking in your mind how many people are gonna fill up these spaces. And then you start your rhymes that you come up with, they start coming in your head, and I start walking around mumbling them. Like, because you gotta get up here and do this shit later on.
Right.
Like, I try to get that feel, but it's just a lot of people don't like to interact with the fans like that, or unless this is like on some street shit. I like to be there and just see the people, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't know one battle rapper on this fucking planet that's not also a fan of battle rap.
Right.
Like, you can be the greatest battle rapper in the world, like Loaded Lux, Hollow the Don, any of them. And if you walk up to them right now and say, who is your favorite battle rapper? I bet you they would name about 10 people. And they would name some old cats and some new cats. Like, dead ass, they would be like, oh, I fought with him because he a legend. He a legend. Oh, but the new dude, such and such and such and such and such. Oh, yeah, bro, them dudes fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what they going to do in the future.
Because when I see them on like different battle channels or whatever, you do see the love that they show. You do see oh man, listen, we had a battle. It's all love, fam, because we did this and the third. But in battle rap, if you know somebody, for example, say it was me and you. Say if I had a battle rap name, and we know each other. Is anything off limits in battle rap, or is everything a go?
Um, I guess at most times it depends on the relationship that you have with that battle. Because, like I said before, like I wouldn't battle a battle rapper that I don't have no respect for, or I wouldn't accept a battle from a battle rapper that don't have no respect for me, because that's when shit go left.
Gotcha.
Cause you watch battle rap enough, like you see where it's actually tension between them. Like when a guy walk by, when he rapping, he actually bump him, and like if I'm standing here like this, just listening to you rap, and you're standing in my face, but then you actually like on purpose like bump me or try to move me or something like that.
Right.
It's like you like the fuck, like then you looking at it a different way, like because normally it's certain shit niggas do in battle rap that they wouldn't get away with on the street.
Gotcha.
It all depends on how you handle the situation at hand.
So we're gonna turn the table just a little bit. We're gonna go back to Facebook.
I fucked up your question too.
But it's fine. I mean, I pretty much got it. I think the fans.
I'm talking about the preparation for battles.
That
question. I fucked up that question.
Go ahead.
Oh, as far as preparing for certain battlers, I was just saying about once you learn like who you battling, it's I think I already covered it though, low key. It's like once you've seen everybody, like if you're on a card, say 4, 5, 6 other battles, and it's like you get to watch unless you're not in the building, or you might be unless you have to, because a lot of people understand these league owners. If the event starts at 4, and like they give you your time slot, like okay, if the event starts at 4, they'll let you know like, well, you probably don't have to battle till like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Some people actually come to the venue. Some battle rappers actually show up to watch all the battles, and they just hang in the back, or they be chilling on stage watching all the battles until it's their turn to battle. Then you have other battle rappers that would chill at the hotel, and then when it's 10, 15 minutes for their turn, that's when they pull up at the venue. They ain't seen none of the battles all day. So it's different. So it's like you might run into this dude and be like, oh, we want you to battle such and such on the next card. And you be like, I ain't never watched this nigga battle. Oh, he battled on the same card as you. Oh, I wasn't in the building. When it's more, in my mind, it's better to see him battle live. Like even if you're standing on the stage or standing in the crowd to see what type of energy he brings than just watching him battle on YouTube.
Yeah, because YouTube will take a lot of stuff out to where you can't really get the feeling for it.
Like you standing in front of a different type of motherfucker.
Right.
Because I seen people get into that situation, and next thing you know, once you standing across from him, that's a different type of monster.
Gotcha. And he may prepare better for you watching your stuff. And he know like, all right, my energy normally on 6. Yeah. Now I gotta bring that 9, so you gonna bring it. Exactly. So it probably would be. But let's move on down the road with this, man.
It's happened to me before. And then what's so crazy about it, I actually won that battle, and it probably was one of my best performances. The P-Row battle.
Okay, yeah.
It's like once I seen, like I've never watched him battle live. Every battle I've seen of P-Row was back in the grind time days when he was Team Punchline with Conceited them. All the battles I watched of his was online. But I was always kind of like low-key a fan of his. Because I was like, what he brought to the table. I even told him that after we battled, if you watch the post-battle interview. And I was like, I've always been a fan of yours. Like, I used to watch your battles. Now I'm battling you. Like, what was so crazy, when Kane called me and was like, yo, we got you P-Row. I was like, you talking about Pete Rowe from Grind Time? He was like, yeah, nigga. He was like, you go get ready. I was like, I'm getting ready right now. Like, I think I was laying in the bed or something. I was like, I'm getting ready right now. Because I know, I've watched this guy battle. I know what kind of smoke he brings. Mm-hmm. And that's just watching him on YouTube. And I was like, bring that same kind of smoke. And if anybody watched my first round, I played around and did my little, it was like a lot of setup shit. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it was the haymakers. And the only way to be the punchline rapper is to have the haymakers.
Yeah, I got him ready.
Because a punchline rapper is gonna boom, boom. They're gonna punch, punch, punch. Every bar is not gonna connect. Mm-hmm. But if you can say shit to make it hit where everybody can be like, ooh, those are the bars that people are gonna remember. That's why I set it up. That's why I set that battle up the way that I did when I was writing my material. Everybody can't do that shit. And it's like, once I seen what he did in the first round, and people was like, yeah, he kind of got you in the first round. That's why I turned up the last two.
Had to.
And it wasn't even necessarily my material. I turned up my performance. Because, like, sometimes in battle rap, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah. All right. Changing gears, you know, when I extended out to you today about coming over here, I saw you on Facebook going live.
Here we go.
And so I was like, let's see what he's talking about. You know, let me see. Check out, you know, you got to check out everything when you go interview somebody. And you mentioned a guy by the name of...
I actually mentioned two people, but which one are we talking about?
I guess he's an artist. The guy that's an artist. Which one's the artist?
They both supposed to be.
Okay. Well, the one, I guess he called you out on losing 7 battles.
Oh.
The one that called you out.
Now I'm really confused.
All right, so let me see.
I don't know, because the two people I'm thinking about, they kind of both did. But like I said, one said, he said that I didn't, but they still ain't found your body yet. But we'll get into that later.
So looking on Facebook right now, like his name is Lucky. And he said, you know, he called you his boy or whatever. Yeah. But you got a lot of opinions on rappers calling them sorry. So what was that all about?
Motherfuckers need to step their shit up. Because if you're gonna call yourself a rapper or great at something, and the reason I say that is because some people might take it the wrong way, because my daddy even told me this one time, especially when I started at one time taking music serious and I got away from it. You have a gift. Don't take it for granted. And it's like, even when we were growing up, you've seen how serious I was. I always made sure I wrote a lot. I made sure I freestyled. I made sure, and it's like, now it's a ever-ending process with me. But I had that period in my life when I was more focused on bullshit, and it took me away from everything that I love. So it was like I was doing a whole bunch of stupid shit. So I'm taking something for granted that could have been handed to me if I just kept working for it.
Right.
And that shit kind of hurt me sometimes, personally. Some people didn't notice it, or I never told nobody that. But it's like, if you have something that you think you're good at, don't take it for granted. Like, keep trying to get better. My bad. Keep trying to get better. Keep trying to go at it. Like, the reason I said what I said is because so many of these rappers, they so content with just one thing. Like, I'm just jump on a track or jump on a song, the beat hot, and this thing I'm gonna just go trapping at the band on every fucking song. You cannot do that.
Facts.
And then it becomes an issue, because if you done made, well, as these guys would say, you done made 3, 4, 5 mixtapes, got 100-something songs. What difference does it make if every song, if you done made 60 songs and they all sound alike?
I'm gonna be honest with you. been executive producer of this show, been executive producer of Grandosiá Productions. We just kind of went underground as far as the music part of it. So if anybody see this and want to, question what I do, people who know me know what kind of music we make over here. But saying that, man, getting back to you as the interviewer, me interviewing you on the situation. I listened to some of these guys' music, especially when they were doing stuff at the mall, the versus battle. It's just they don't have a sound. Like, what is your sound? Because their sound is not tight.
But but the thing about the versus battles, it exposed a lot of people.
A lot of people. You ain't working.
I mean,
you ain't working. Like they said, they're not really. In my mind, I see a lot of music,
they're not working. It's not saying they're not working. The quality of your music got exposed. I don't say you're not working. Like, you go to the studio every day and record 4-5 songs like Roddy Ricch do. Mm-hmm. But if all of them 4-5 songs sound like the last 4-5 songs you did yesterday, it's pointless. Like, artists have to grow. That's why you have artists like, I don't know what the fuck they get into it for. Everything is supposed to be, if you're going to be a rapper and you're going to take this shit serious, that's why I say what I say. People don't respect longevity no more. If you're going to do this shit, do this shit. Right. Motherfuckers think they just going to pop in, make a couple dollars, and pop back out. Them the niggas with 360 deals. And they wonder why they pop right the fuck back out. Mm-hmm. When the last time you heard about Lil Yachty? I hate to say his name because... But... I know he making moves outside of music. He got his money in dip, like a lot of rappers did, like Comedian or whatever. Make some music, make some money, and I'm gone. So no disrespect to him, but it's artists that have came in, made 1-2 hot songs that you can only play. They can only do club shows. Can't play no fucking stadiums. Can't sell out no fucking arenas. And guess what? Next year, they got a motherfucker that look just like you, that made a song just like yours. He gonna steal your look, your image, and everything, and he gonna be the next nigga to blow up, and they gonna forget about you.
And probably using the same melody that they gave you to use. And that's the part. Like, one thing about gas on your rappers, man, I don't. Listen, they working. But I get it.
But they get mad at me. They get mad at me for saying that. I'm like, bro, we are from North Carolina. Do you know how many times I've been to these other states? Like, they look at us like we are dead in the middle. Or us in Virginia, we are dead in the middle. Like New York, DC, all on up. And then when you go down to South Carolina, you got lyrical niggas in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. But it's like all the music meets right in the middle. They look at us as the melting pot, as they call it. They expect niggas to make trap music here, niggas to make clump, like whatever you want to call it. They expect lyrical niggas to be here, especially lyrical niggas. And it's like, motherfuckers don't understand, like, bro, you have to have a sound. North Carolina has a sound, but they haven't grasped it yet. J. Cole gave us a sound.
Right.
And to be honest, the Baby gave us a sound. Because wasn't nobody sounding like him either. At first.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna be honest with you. 3 people gave us a sound. You may not agree with the 3.
Little brother.
Well, 4 people. Little brother, Petey Pablo, J. Cole, and the Baby.
Petey Pablo was so underrated. Oh my God. Petey Pablo, his first 2, The Diary of a Sinner, Part 1 and 2. Oh, whoa. People are, man, you know what? You are absolutely correct. People are sleeping on the unique sounds that we can create from here. But they too busy trying to follow the trends to follow a dollar that another nigga making. And guess what's gonna happen? When they get rid of that nigga, your sound ain't hot no more either.
Nope, because that sound on him.
Exactly. So what you need to do is find yourself as an artist. It's all about, that's what I thought being an artist was all about.
Well, when the Migos came out, the Migos changed that because everybody went to this mumbo jumbo stuff that you can't understand. Now, back in the day, when we listened to our guys, Snoop, Biggie, Tupac, you didn't want to sound like that. You wanted your own sound. But now it's like it's a cool thing for me to pattern myself after Frank. Like, oh, what he say? Okay, I'm gonna take what he said, how he said it, flip it, and try to make it my own.
Some people actually have low key the same styles, but their cadences or their voices are different.
Right.
Like if people hear me or hear Biz, like I've actually heard somebody say this. It's like somebody was like, I sound when I rap sometimes, I sound more like a Jada or a Pusha T, but it's like I'm more like I'm not slouching. I'm going in, but the flow pattern, like the way I put the words together, might click that way.
Right.
That's if they ever heard me on a beat. I don't look at it that way because they don't like Pusha T. Them don't get as lyrical as I can sometimes. They lay they shit out flat. Like either you dumb as hell if you don't get this shit.
Right.
But it's like me, I have sometimes word patterns that I change speeds a lot. Some people do it, some people don't. It's not the same. It's like I feel like one of the most unique styles that people don't even speak of or talk about is Nick Grant. And he from South Carolina. And Nick Grant, I've been listening to Nick Grant since what? Like 2015? That nigga is cold. Like cold. Like, bro be saying some shit that have you like. But if I say Nick Grant is my favorite rapper right now on social media, especially on Facebook, they're gonna be like, who is Nick Grant?
Right.
Nick Grant is fire.
I guess they expect for you to say somebody around here or somebody big time. So I mean, we all got our opinions on who's best, who's not. But you gotta come up with your own sound. One thing about music, you gotta come up with your own sound. I mean, you've been doing this for a minute, and when I hear your voice, I know who you are. I don't gotta guess it. I know your voice when it come on the track. I don't gotta be like, hey man, who that right there? Who that right there?
You're like, oh yeah, that's bro.
Yeah,
that's bro, right?
Right. So I mean, you gotta do it that way. And I guess the ones I mean, just looking from a outsider, if you felt some type of way that that you call their music terrible, you gotta go to the land of work.
I've never said nobody personally that I felt was garbage. I had this same shit the other day that I said. I said, what was it? If a motherfucker told you, say you a rapper, I'm gonna ask you the question. Say you a rapper, and you know you nice, like you dope as a lyricist or whatever you do, and people done told you, like people that you don't even know or whatever that's done heard you rap, they come to you and be like, man, you dope, man, keep going, keep doing your thing. And then one person come to you and say, man, you trash. What's gonna be your reaction?
Well, first of all, if I could rap, I have the biggest head ever. Somebody telling me I'm good. But me personally, if you told me I was trash, my reaction is, well, maybe my music's not for you. Maybe my style that I rap with is not for you. Hey, bless you, brother. Sorry that you feel that way, but maybe it's not for you. It's over your head and keep moving. But I'm not going to take that one person or them couple people for what they say. Because one thing about this business that I think, artists need to learn, you just need one yes and one person and one fan. And just keep rocking out that one fan till you grow. Because, I mean, think about it. We go to Nelly. Oh. Everybody wasn't a country grammar fan, but they kept working the music.
That album was classic to me. And coming from me, that album was a fucking classic.
Right.
But think about, okay, let me ask you the same question. If you felt like you was an average or you was just one of them mumble rappers, if I said you was trash, how would you feel?
Now, this going from me, from the competitor that I am, I feel like, he said I'm trash, and I ain't really been getting a lot of love. I'm going back in the lab. I'm going to reformat what I'm doing. I'm going to go back and listen to see what I'm doing. How can I get better? Try this out. The biggest problem, too, is you need real homeboys that's gonna tell you the truth.
The correct answer. That is the correct answer. What you just said. But now that lets you just answer the question perfectly. But now you got niggas. You don't even have to say their names. You just say, I think certain people are trash. And then what happens? All of a sudden niggas come out the woodworks. Oh, fuck this nigga. Oh, no. And I need to do all this. So the question is, do you think you're trash?
Facts.
Ask yourself that question. Do you think you're trash? You ain't never think about that, did you?
And if the answer, if you feel some type of way, or because the answer yes, you need to go really check your music and see why you doing it. I think, but I also think a lot of rappers didn't ask themselves why though. Get back to their reason to get into the game. What's their why?
Yeah, because if I'm nice, well, you know, we done been through this already. If one person told me I was trash, I'd be like, that's just what you think.
Right.
But for some odd reason, these new motherfuckers, you tell them that you hear one of their songs that they drop on Facebook or whatever. And I've never really told none of them niggas they trash personally or nothing like that. I just listen to them like, okay, whatever. But if you just say, like you say, some of these niggas trash. The only people that get upset is the niggas who are actually trash. And they be like, next thing you know is, man, fuck you. I'll come shoot up your mama house. Man, fuck you. I'll come shoot up your baby. Man, you can suck my dick with your mama's lips. Am I lying right now?
Nah, that actually is truth, man. Cause like I say, I watch a lot of things on Facebook, man.
If you don't think you're trash, why would you react to that?
Normal people wouldn't. Unless you feel some type of way about it, normal people would not react to those
because you know you're standing around, even though you're part of this environment or circle, you're in this environment or circle, and you know you're standing around rappers that are clearly better than you. That's why you're upset. But what you do, instead of perfecting your craft, getting better at what you do, you're so content with your homeboys just boosting up your head and let you go in the booth high and peeled up and snorted up and coked up or whatever the fuck y'all do. And you just go in there and mumble a whole bunch of bullshit and pay a $200, $300 for a beat because it's hot. And they tell you, oh yeah, but that shit fire. Because the minute one of them tell you that shit trash, y'all ready to fight.
Yeah.
You know how many times I went to the booth, or how many times I had to sit in certain areas, and motherfuckers be like, I go in there and spit my verse and think I killed that shit. I come back out and niggas be like, nah, bro, do that shit over. Like you slipped on that word right there. You did that. You did, and it be some petty shit. They be like, bro, you be thinking you killed it. Like, nah, bro. I remember I heard you spit them last 2 bars before you went in there. Like, you slipped on that. You need to record that shit over.
Now, one thing everybody don't have, but one thing everybody do say, everybody call themselves the CEO of their own production, which is cool, but nobody has the training. One thing I had to get better from working from different artists, one thing I had to get better in is telling artists the truth. Because I didn't want to hurt artists' feelings if it didn't make sense. So as a producer or as a producer of a company, I wasn't doing my artists no favors. But one thing I learned now, you know, with the training that I have, people I deal with, you need somebody in the studio who's gonna give you the honest, the God truth.
The problem is the same thing that's wrong with the music industry now.
What's that?
You got more yes men than honest people.
That's facts. That's probably 100% facts. Cause I felt myself being a yes man at one time. That's why I said I'm not doing nobody no favors. But when I started doing the music I wanted to do, when I started doing the things I want to do with my production company, I started being able to call artists in that I want to really work with. I can tell them the truth because now I know some things. I work with certain people now. Yeah. So matter of fact, this girl named Sue, she sung on "Shorty Swing My Way." Probably one of the biggest people I got to work with or whatever.
Man, that's a classic.
Yeah.
That's hey boy, that shit took me back to Starburst right there, boy.
But I work with her, and so once I got to work with her, and she put me in contact with other people. I kind of see what they was on. I kind of like, I not only mimicking them, but I got to see how I got to sharpen my skills up for when I work with an artist individually now. I know what to do.
That though.
Yeah.
Because when you around rappers, especially like I even pay attention to certain shit like that. Like when you're around, like even the environment of battle rappers, it's like when we used to, like a lot of people don't don't know, but they do know if you in it or you've seen it. Like before the battles, because most of the time when they book us out of town, most of the battle rappers, if you come from out of town, y'all all in the same hotel.
Okay.
So it's like you might be a room over or 2 rooms over from everybody. Next thing you know, y'all smoking and drinking in the same room before the battles, whatever. Y'all talking shit. And guess what y'all up there doing? Practicing y'all rounds. Yeah. It's like y'all sparring with each other. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? What's your first round for such and such? Spit your round right now. Just like you gonna spit it on stage. So now you gotta spit your round. Now, next person gonna go. He spit his round. He gonna spit his round. He gonna spit his round. All right, what's your second round? Or if you fuck up, but you can't fuck up, you gotta spit that shit perfect. Even if you slip up a little bit, they gonna be like, nah, get that back, get it back, get it back. They gonna let you know right then, like, bro, get it back, get it back. Like, they gonna let you know right then.
They gotta get that.
Like, nah, you can't do that shit on stage. And it's not even necessarily get it back for us. They be saying it for the fact, like, nah, bro, you can't do that on stage, bro. Like, you gotta get that right, bro. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get on stage, when them cameras come on, they be like, nah, you can't do that shit on stage because it's live once it's on stage.
Right.
It's not even for the satisfaction of them. They like, bro, you can't do that when you get on stage, bro. You gotta make sure that shit come off clean. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Well, Frank, it's been real, man. I'm glad we got to sit down, man, have you on Grandosiá TV. Definitely got to have you back again, man. But
and I will come back.
Definitely, man, because I feel like this is for we can talk and get things off the chest. Instead of being a smoke session, it's a rapper talk session, man. We're gonna get things off the chest and then see.
I was gonna smoke, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I respect people's spaces. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. But we definitely gotta get back with you and bring you back in.
Get your ass whooped.
But before you go, man, let the people know where to find you on social media so they can follow you, they can follow your battles and all that stuff. Just let them know where we can get you at.
Facebook, Antonio Frank Lou Hopkins. Instagram, The Real Frank Lou. The same thing on Twitter, The Real Frankie Lou. And I don't fuck with them other pages. Let's go from there.
And make sure everybody you subscribe, you like, you comment down below. Tell us what you think. But just hit that notification bell so every time Grandosiá TV come on, it pops up on your screen.